crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
How we doing, Bronco Nation? Welcome on into a live edition here, Bronco Nation News Live on a Wednesday. You know what that means. It is Wednesdays here at Bronco Nation News, and our man Winston Venable is right there in the flesh. Winston, we appreciate you for jumping on, man, as always, and happy Wednesday to you.
Hey, BJ, thanks, man. Missed you last Wednesday. I think you were doing a little bit of work down in Vegas, man, covering a little basketball action. You know,
I was, and I may or may not have even reminded you about that. So
I was waiting for the link, all ready to go in the office. Bronco Nation, you know, BJ he leaves me hanging here.
I was wondering,
but you know what? It's all good, man. I understand pretty quickly that the man's got bigger and better things to do.
I thought it was a good week. Let's just say it was a good week to take off. You had some personal stuff going on as well, and there was I'll take the blame for it. I just forgot to tell you, but yeah, we were down in Vegas for basketball media days last week.
All good, man. Basketball season's up and underway pretty soon here, right?
First game is Monday. Yeah, first game is first actual real regular season game will be Monday night. Hawaii Pacific making the journey over to Boise for Monday night. So
they do that just like football media days, all held down in Vegas. Huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. We had all 12 coaches. It was a good time down there. But we're back and talking about the Fresno State rivalry, Winston, which I know you know very well. The series 17-9 in favor of Boise State. The Broncos are 11-3 against Fresno on the blue, but the number 2 is what everybody's talking about this week. Fresno State has won the last 2-game winning streak for Fresno State. They came in 2023. That was the debacle of the Andy Avalos era there that year where they lost 3 straight home games, I believe. And maybe it was the year before, but 37-30, Fresno State did win, and that was in one of the last games there with Coach Avalos, November 4th, 2023, 37-30, Fresno State won. That was the game at Fresno where they had the kick return. Then the year before, I think they won in the championship game on the blue. So, 2-game losing streak for Boise State to Fresno. I know that's getting a lot of talk this week.
Yeah, it's interesting, just hearing that word rivalry. I know that gets thrown around with Nevada a little bit too, and I think that there's, some hate built up, even from back in the day, and a bunch of good, tough battles against Nevada. But, I kind of go more rivalry, Fresno State, milk can. There's just, there's a little bit more back and forth as far as the wins and loss column. There's that trophy on the line. So I like this week, man. I like Fresno State. Very similar to Nevada. I think there's some bad blood and whatnot, and that comes from some of the battles in the history. But exciting week, rivalry week. They've had our number the last couple games, and it'll be awesome to see. I think they're a scrappy team, BJ. I think that they obviously got new coaching staff over there, but he's got a lot of experience, has done a lot of winning, and whoever's at the helm, I think they just get the type of kids. It's kind of that Fresno vibe a little bit. I'm a Bay Area guy, but Fresno's not too far down the way. There's just something about the city, the town, the type of culture they have over there. Always kind of that tough guy type mentality, and they play physical ball, and they're always pretty well coached.
Now, you were you 9-10 or were you 10-11? I always get your years mixed up.
9-10.
Okay, yeah, so you had a 51-34 win in Fresno in 2009, and then you had a 51-0. You drugged him on the blue your senior year.
Yeah, we wore all orange because they were complaining that the blue, we were blend into the field. So one time I think I wore any other color except for blue on the blue. It was against Fresno State. Coach Pete said, all right, well, if we want to, if they're going to talk all this about how we blend in, we're going to wear bright orange, and then we beat them 51-0. So that was pretty cool. But the Fresno game the year before, 2009, they had a gentleman by the name of Ryan Matthews at running back, and I remember he gashed us for about 300 yards. Really a tight battle. We had Jeremy Avery going for a couple long touchdowns. We had some great hustle plays out there. I remember even Titus Young, Jeremy Avery was going down and, going on like a 50, 60-yard run, and Titus Young, fell on the ball in the end zone, but they played us tough. I remember Coach Wilcox not being happy after that win because defensively we didn't live up to our standard and let them put too many points on the board, and they gashed us for a couple of big runs. So always tough playing the boys down there in Fresno. Yeah,
no doubt. And I believe Winston Venable, if I can I'll have to get the photo loaded in here, but you in the all orange, you led the team out in the hammer that game, I believe.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I did. Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture, so I know you did.
Here we go. Yeah. All about it, man. Yeah. Fortunately, I was blessed to carry the hammer quite a bit. It was one of the most prideful things ever, being able to run out with the hammer multiple times as a Bronco. So forever grateful that the hammer was invented, and that it gives guys a little bit extra purpose and passion to go out there and take pride in leading out their troops. There we go, man. You got it. I love it.
That was tell me about Coach Pete saying we're going all orange though. I mean, I've heard the story before, but he doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
I mean, we were I don't remember the necessarily the specifics, BJ, but here I do remember like we were coached real well to not say anything in the media, right? And we had a bulletin board in the locker room, and that bulletin board would get full of quotes and comments from coaches and players on other teams. So I just do remember there being a lot of controversy about how we cheat and we wear all blue. And I think even the year before, maybe Doug Martin, speaking of Doug, shout out to my man, Doug. That's a super unfortunate deal there. He's got a lot of love. Bronco Nation's hurting for that one. But Doug Martin laid down in the end zone, laid down on the blue. So there was on a special teams kickoff return play. So there was just a lot of talk about us whooping tail on the field, and maybe the blue had something to do with it, and we blend in. Now, from a TV copy, it did look a little bit, hard to track us. But when you're talking about being there in person, I mean, I don't like the excuse. So I think Coach Pete and the staff was a little tired of hearing about this extra advantage that we have wearing blue. So we wore all orange, and the result was the result. So kind of cool.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The result was 51-0. It was 35 degrees that night, late November there on the blue, and you guys took it to them pretty good.
They still do it, but man, we came out with the warm-ups, and we had everybody from Antoine Murray from Florida coming out, no shirt on.
You guys popped the top there for warm-ups?
Top for warm-ups. You got these
go.
California kids looking at us like, who are these dudes? It's like, yeah, we're a bunch of dogs.
Now, I can't show it due to copyright reasons. I think we showed it back at one point on one of the BNN After Dark shows or something, but you did have a memorable torpedo sack hit there on the Fresno quarterback, right?
Yeah, a lot of people say I hit him in his head, but I didn't. It was his shoulder for sure, man. But no, I got a couple plays early in the game. I was getting cut, going on some blitzes, and just anticipated running back cutting me again, and kind of flew over the top and had a nice play. And yeah, that was my third game as a Bronco, and I had started off with a pick six, so that was pretty cool. A lot of family and friends there, and then I had that hit at the end to end the game. So that was kind of like a coming out party for me as a Bronco. Played well against Oregon in my first game, but Fresno State, back in California, a lot of family and friends there. That was a real fun one to be a part of, which also, it stunk because our defensive coordinator and my nickel coach at the time, actually I was with Chode a little bit too, but Wilcox, man, he was upset about that win. And it's kind of funny thinking about that now, BJ. There's a lot of, man, I'll hop on Twitter, and man, there's a mess going on Twitter with fans and, just the comments about the play. And, but that goes to show you, like, you can win the end result, wanting to get the win always matters. Accomplishing your goals and getting the W to be able to accomplish your goals always matters. But coaches and players, I mean, if I go out there and miss 6 tackles, I'm not going to be happy about just winning the game. I got things to improve on and grow on. So coaches do the same. That's their job, right? And the player's job is to make adjustments and learn and grow. It's not always going to be pretty, and it's okay to be upset a little bit after a win, but you go look at that locker room, guys are fired up for the win. Then you go watch the tape. It's never as good. It's never as bad as it looks. You got to learn, because eventually there's going to be some teams that, they'll catch up to that. And if you don't play your best game, they'll end up winning. So, I mean, coaches will take care of all that stuff, but craziness on Twitter, man.
21-point win, man. Not good enough for some folks. We were talking about that earlier in the week with Jay and Brad.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I think we've talked about, like, I don't even want to use the word spoiled, right? But I think there's a group of fans that have seen and been around Boise State for 30 years, and they've seen the growth and the development and what it's looked like. I mean, it's kind of a cool spot to be in, right? And the standards are high, but there was a time that we were ranked 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th in the country, and playing a really highly, high entertaining brand of football. And it's not always going to be like that. And I think that some people at the same time also weren't a part of that. So it's kind of like, well, what are you talking about? It's like, well, there's some people that are used to seeing a certain standard here. And then there's some people that are new here, and having that type of product on the field is fine. Either way, winning football games is hard. Let the players and the coaches make the adjustments and handle that. I try to stay a little bit away from the Twitter stuff. It's fairly entertaining, but it's getting a little ridiculous, man. I'll tell you that.
Hey, speaking of the milk can on the line this week, this was the photo out at Fresno State practice. They brought it out to practice and put it on a little table there so that the Fresno State players could remember what they're playing for this week.
Yeah, they better keep an eye on it, man. That's a good feeling, being able to take that thing on back, or whatever it may be, or hold on to it. So that's what I like about this week. Something a little more is on the line, and honestly, man, take away the milk can. Still a big football game, because everybody's trying to host that Mountain West championship, right, and have the best record and accomplish their goals. No doubt. Now
the trophy did start in 2006, the milk can. I don't know if they ever told you guys about the dairy farmers or gave you any kind of history of the can, but I mean, rivalry trophies, like you said, it's a big game, but it is kind of fun. You see these around the country where there is something tangible on the line there, and right when the game ends, the winning team usually knows where it's sitting at, and they run over and grab it, and it's usually a fun thing. And the milk can, again, been around since 2006. And they only do it for the regular season games. It doesn't change hands for the championship games. But the last two, like I said, Fresno has won, and they've had that thing over there since they didn't play last year, over since 2023, over there in Fresno, and brought it out on the table here. And now Malik Sherrod, running back for Boise State, he's going to be, I would have to guess, and maybe I'll have to look this up, but I can't imagine too many guys have played for Fresno and for Boise State since this trophy started here. But Malik Sherrod has a chance to hoist the trophy at both schools. I mean, 2023, he was a part of that team that won the milk can at Fresno State, and now he's got a chance here. We talked to him yesterday to raise the milk can as a member of Boise State. That would be quite the scene for Fresno State fans, having to watch him raise the milk can with Boise State on Saturday.
Yeah, man, he'll be my age and looking back and have some pretty cool memories and some pictures to look at hoisting both of those trophies. So that is pretty cool. And I'm sure that, I'm sure he's got some buddies there. And I know that there's probably a few guys that,
his roommate, he said his roommate's the starting DB. So they've already been talking trash about what's going to happen if they meet out on the edge.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's similar to Nevada just last week, where, I mean, anything you can pull from to bring some confidence into your game, right? Like, let's be real. They had their homecoming and they inducted, I'm talking Nevada here, they inducted the 2010 team. They're playing highlights. I can guarantee you Coach Choate was talking about that. Anything to bring some positivity and some confidence into your players, saying, we can beat these guys. We've done it before, even if it was 15 years ago. Those are going to be things that Fresno State, even with a new staff, like, hey, guys, we've gone up to the Blue before and beat them. Maybe not a bunch of you guys have, but they came here a couple years ago. We beat them. So they're going to do those type of things to instill confidence, as they should. And I bet you those players are going to be ready to go. Like I said, they're scrappy. And I think, they're college football players that are confident. And, I don't think that there's many, even – if Boise State was undefeated, or even any undefeated team in the country, where 18 to 22-year-olds are just scared to go play a team, I mean, there may be some, hey, man, these dudes are pretty good, but let's go get after them. So, you're going to get these guys' best shot, and there's going to be a confident group coming here,
Now, I am not sure if this is confirmed or not, but our friend Guy here says Fresno has a milk can at every practice. It's how they hydrate.
Man, that's a little shots fired. Pretty funny, though.
We love Fresno week, don't we? It's a fun week because you mentioned Nevada. I think Boise State's 18-2 in the last 20 games against Nevada. Like, that hasn't really been much of a rivalry of late. And so you get Fresno out here, as I said. I mean, Fresno State won and came to the Blue. I don't remember if you were on the staff or not, but you guys played them in the last game of the regular season, had to turn around and play them in the championship game. There was that whole weird scenario happening there at one point. Where it didn't even matter who won the championship or the regular season game. You guys already knew you were playing them the next week, so it was a very weird game. Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah, and I mean, that goes back to just it's challenging to. I was always worried about, it's hard to beat a team twice, and especially in that short amount of time. And you're gonna have adjustments, and yeah, that was an interesting setup for sure.
So 2013 was my first year out here. That was a 41-40 loss at Fresno. That was Kirby Moore, I think, had a catch or something, or drop on fourth down. Something happened, and they couldn't quite get into field goal range, and that was a loss at the time. And then 2017 in Fresno was a 28-17 Fresno State win. And then we mentioned that championship game, but twice in the championship, the last two championship games, Fresno State, Boise State, Fresno State has won on the blue both times. And I don't remember if you came back. Were you already a part of that staff with the snow game and the blocked extra point and all that in 2018, I believe it was?
Yeah, 2018. Yeah, I came back, volunteered a little bit of time, 2017. And then 2018, I got on staff.
That was a tough one, I know, for Boise State fans and Coach Ridd in particular, and Bedell, and that snowy game that went overtime and the extra point. Would have won it for them there in the fourth quarter when they scored, and that was a tough one. Yeah, no doubt. I remember looking up, and it pretty kind of like a cool atmosphere, like packed stadium, but just the way the snow was coming down, and yeah, really tough one, man, out on the blue. But I was definitely a part of that. And yeah, it's interesting coming back and being a part of some of those teams where, we ended up losing that game. And there's not a whole lot of losing that I've ever been a part of on the blue ever. And that was one of them. So just like an eerie, irky feeling, and the way that the game went down at the end. And, hey, man, win some, you lose some. And a whole lot more winning going on around here than losing. You mentioned Fresno, knowing they can beat them and all that. Spencer's, I said in his press conference on Monday, he mentioned they've lost 2 in a row. Is that something where Spencer's showing clips of Fresno players walking out with the milk can a couple years ago, or celebrating? Is that anything extra? I know you don't need extra motivation at this point in the season, but they are favored by 17 points at home, and this is a game you should win and need to win. Is that something coaches would do? Have you ever been a part of staffs or things where you go show highlights of the other team kind of celebrating or something to tick your guys off? Yeah, I think that's what I was even mentioning that with just Nevada and what I'm sure Coach Choate did with the 2010 win, right? So anything you don't spend. Well, they had won that one. That was a little different. They're saying, hey, we already beat them, we can beat it again. I wonder if you do it to tick them off in this instance. Oh yeah, show them a little celebration on the blue and things like that. Absolutely, man. No, 100%. I think that's something you don't spend too much time on, but maybe you're opening your team presentation in the beginning, covering those guys. Maybe there's a clip, maybe there's a photo. Maybe it's not something that you even verbally talk about, but you just kind of let that photo be shown on the projector screen there, and then let the boys feel it, if you will. But definitely think it's something that you can use. And once again, I don't know what Coach Danielson's tactics are, but to motivate, inspire, to get guys prepared, that's their job, right? So that might be something that they're doing to get the boys ready to roll. I was looking at some old pictures here. I'm going to see if I can get them thrown up on the screen real quick. But from that game you're talking about in 20, was it 9 or 10? The one on the blue, 10, I guess. For all orange. Yeah, that would have been 10. All right, I got to see if I can pull this up here. But I got a couple. I just searched our Getty Images file here, and we got a couple more photos of your teammates here celebrating with the. Here, let's see. What do we got going on here? Here, let's go. Oh, there it is right there. Looks like my man Titus Young probably talking a little smack as the Bulldogs go off. Daryl Acree. Looks like we're over on their side of the locker room as they're leaving. I don't know. We're about to go shake the fans' hands, but there's probably a little extra talk going out there. It was always a good one, man. There's some talking, but we backed it up with the play, that's for sure. And then one more famous one here. Let's find this one here. Who we got? What do we got in this one, you think? There you go. Oh, Brandon Thompson, Titus Young, giving that thing a nice kiss. I love it. Some great photos right there. Yep. Gosh, good days, man. Yeah, man. The milk can, and they have the little thing in the Hall of Fame there, and hopefully it. They are going over to the Pac-12 as well. You like the fact that this is one of these games that is going to continue on here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm excited to, there's just always growth, right? I mean, Big Sky, Mountain West, or the WAC, just continuing to try to grow this program and keep on heading in, that phase, right? Not just staying complacent or staying still and playing in a new conference and finally getting into the pack. And that thing's going to change and shift. And I think college football is changing and shifting over the next few years. But being able to keep, Fresno State and a couple of these teams that are going to also join the pack. I mean, yeah, that's great. I think it's good for the history, right? It continues that to go on. And I know there's been some talk about other teams that, is this the last time we're ever going to play Nevada or whatever? And I think, move on from some of those teams. But I mean, I was upset that we're playing Oregon a few more times because I felt like we checked that box off, and why play those guys again? Let's go play UCLA
next year, opening the season again next year in Eugene.
Yeah. So, I mean, all good though. You got to play the big teams and you got to keep on growing. But it is cool to play new teams and join a new conference, even though there'll be some guys joining it that we played it before.
And I know that I don't think they did this way, obviously. I mean, the Mountain West chooses the schedule. I know it's just totally random here, but the first 4 conference games Boise State played were teams that are not going on to the Pac-12. And the last 4 here are all teams. The next 4 games are all teams that are going on to the Pac-12 next year. Fresno State on Saturday, at San Diego State, then Colorado State at home, and at Utah State in the final regular season game. And then maybe, San Diego State again, depending on how it plays out in the championship. Obviously, Hawaii is still in the mix there somehow. You've got UNLV in the mix as well. So we'll see on the championship game part of it. But the next 4 games, at least, kind of interesting that it was 4 that you're not going to play again. And then now the next 4 here are teams you'll keep seeing on the schedule.
Yeah, man. San Diego State's the real deal, man. I'll tell you that. Watched a little bit of them, and they're a pretty good football team. So not thinking too far ahead here. Got to get past the old Bulldogs, but next week will be fired up for sure. That'll be a sweet game, and awesome to see those guys doing well. And like we said, no matter what goes down this year, a couple good teams to join the pack and continue to have some good battles.
You mentioned the 21-point win not being kind of satisfactory for some, and I want to get your take, Winston, on kind of where this team is at right now. 6-2, 4-0 in conference play. What do you like? What needs to get better? I want to get kind of dive in here at the midway point of conference play with what Winston Venable has seen on this team, but do want to thank a couple of our sponsors, RoePaint.com, Andy Rowe and Company, RoePaint.com. Whether it's a concrete coating, interior, exterior painting, all your painting needs, hit up our title sponsor, and that's RoePaint.com. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. You see now they have 7 NIL athletes at Boise State. They've got their logo back inside, outside the stadium. I know they've been passing out rally towels and T-shirts out front on the Ford Plaza at different games. So Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Taco Bell, local Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. We love Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations and appreciate them for their continued support of Bronco Nation News. Get out and try the all-new Chicken Steak Street Chalupas, the $3 Chipotle Ranch Grilled Steak Burrito, the new Crispy Chicken Strips, or the Mountain Dew Baja Midnight Freeze. Taco Bell, the future of fast food, and we appreciate the Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations for their support of Bronco Nation News. Hopefully Saturday is going to be the day Latrell Caples gets back in the end zone. They're running out of other guys around him, so it's going to have to be him at some point here. 49-cent fountain drink on the Monday after Latrell Caples scores a touchdown, and maybe we can get the Breezy bundle this week as well. How about that? He's getting healthier and getting back out there. A hot dog and a soda for $1 if Breezy Dubar can find the end zone. And don't forget about those trading cards. They've got those as well. $12.99. Get that pack today. No Riley and Ridge show, by the way. We had to push it back yesterday. We were going to maybe do it today. Jackson's presents the Riley and Ridge show. Just a heads up, scheduling conflicts this week. No Riley and Ridge show, but we'll be back and working on a big-time guest for the bye week next week for Riley and Ridge. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. They have the jerseys, the customizable jerseys right there at the location at the Hall of Fame, or you can go to their Boise Town Square Mall location, 4,000 plus hats on the hat wall, and you can order anywhere in the world, theblueandorangestore.com. And obviously with basketball season starting, you can get those Boise State basketball jerseys and gear as well at the Blue and Orange Store and theblueandorangestore.com. And Lithia Florida Boise, want to thank them as well. Our pregame show sponsor will be live at 11 a.m. on Saturday. The fall kickoff sales underway. Never a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out their full inventory at lithiafordboise.com. And as I said, 11 a.m. on Saturday, we will be live with the pregame show there from the James Kitchen and Bar. Should be another nice day on Saturday. You like the 1:30 start times, Winston?
Oh, love the 1:30 start time. Just a nice crisp in the air, a little sun out. End of this, I want to say end of the season here. We'll get into that last quarter, but man, I really like that. I really like that, especially as a player. You get done early. You got your family in town. You guys go out to a little dinner, hang out with the boys after. I mean, man, I'm on the couch sometimes watching some of these games on the West Coast getting done at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, man. And
that would have been the Nevada game, right?
Yeah. If I was a player, that might be all right, where you can you go out to dinner and then check out some ball, sitting on your couch after you're done playing because your mind's racing anyways, and you got a little entertainment. But no, man, as a fan, as a player, all about the 1:30 kickoff time. Absolutely. Wake up and get to it.
So Chris Marshall out this week, suspended one game due to some disciplinary reasons. Something happened on the sidelines or something there in the Nevada game, or maybe back in the locker room. He's going to be out this week. Spencer Danielson didn't really elaborate it on Monday, but did say, hope he's, taking this to heart and will be ready to roll next Monday when he rejoins the team. So doesn't sound like he's even practicing or around the team this week, as he's out for a suspension. You already had Ben Ford, leading the team with 5 touchdowns this year, already out with a season-ending injury. So really 2 of your starting wide receivers from a group that coming into the season already had some questions and things. Winston, you've got Latrell Caples, you've got obviously Cam Bates, Chase Penry, but some freshmen are going to have to step up now, whether it's Cash Williams or Quentin Brown or I don't know. But at this point in the season, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Maddox Madsen and how he's playing, and now to have 2 of his starting wide receivers also out. What do you just make about trying to get this passing game going here down the stretch?
Yeah. Well, I like seeing that Chase Penry had a couple nice catches last week, and he's ready to step up, carry the flag, and take over where he needs to. And super unfortunate about Ben Ford. That's going to obviously be a tough loss. Chris Marshall, obviously another tough loss. I think he's been able to stretch the field a little bit. I know last game, had a couple drops, and, offensively they didn't maybe push the ball down the field as much as they'd like to. But guys just got to step up. There's enough people, right? There's enough Broncos. There's enough guys that, have the reps now and some of the experience. And sure, it might be a young guy, but opportunity, right? And once again, I think Boise State really likes to establish the run game, and they have 3 great running backs to do so. They have a couple really good tight ends, and then they got some receivers that can get it done. So I think if Boise State plays what they'd like to do and their style of offense and establishing a run game, they have enough out there on the field. Guys just need to step up. Latrell Caples needs to step up. Matt Lauder needs to step up. Wagner needs to step up. They have enough threats to get the job done, and then we'll see what young guys emerge. Quentin Brown, I mean, he's been limited, but had a couple nice catches. Chase Penry, ready to go. I love the way that kid runs routes. So it's kind of that next man up mentality, carry the flag. And hey, who's available? Who's ready to do it? Who's carrying themselves the right way? That's ready for an opportunity to go take over. And we have guys on a roster, huge roster, to do that. Don't know who it's going to be, but there we go. I think you're muted.
Deep shots to Quentin Brown to stretch the field. That's what BSU Bill wants to see. Now, Cash Williams, who came in and played a lot in the second half for Chris Marshall, similar size. He's more of your bigger receiver, number 83. He came in and played a lot in the second half after him as a true freshman also. He was making some plays in fall camp. Williams and Brown both were making some plays in fall camp. We talked a lot about him, and then neither has really had, huge roles this year. But I think Brown can get involved. Certainly Cash Williams as well. There was a third or fourth down, I think, Winston, where they tried to throw a slant to Williams at one point, and he wasn't looking, or there was a miscommunication on that. So, they tried to get him the ball last week. Now he's going to be called upon. But you mentioned Chase Penry. There was like a 3rd and 8 or something. He had a nice catch over the middle to move the chains. And but the running game, as you said, is that the easiest way to get the passing game going, to get the running game going first?
Yeah, it's like, as much as throwing the ball down the field and having explosive plays is important, you're going to get those based off of how you're doing in the run game. And I think it goes back to, obviously Ashton Genty was a huge factor for the offense last year, but there's been a lot of talk or not a lot of talk, but the object of the game, win the game, and however they can do that, right? And if it means that Dylan Riley is busting out, creasing these guys and going for 60-yard runs, and Sire Gaines is just pounding the rock, and they got a little switch up with Sherrod. Like, if that's not broke, don't do anything. And if you can establish that and have Mad Dog just dink and dunk and just methodically work down the field, hey, that's a way to win the game. So I think the most important is being able to establish that run game. And it'll open up some of those passes. And then those guys just got to execute. Haven't seen a whole bunch of deep passes and all that. Maybe that's just not the style of what the Broncos are good at right now. And that's okay. Can they be good at other things to win the ball game? And they've shown that they are. They've shown that they've done enough. And do they need to improve? Absolutely. I think everybody in that building would say they need to improve in all sorts of categories. But that's what their job is to do, is to improve and work on their weaknesses and get better. So establish the run game first.
And BSU Bill, another good, he says, let's get Matt Lauder going a little more here. He's your guy. No, Matt Lauder. He only had 1 catch for 6 yards against UNLV, only 2 catches for 17 yards against Nevada in the last game. So 3 catches in the last 2 games, and only 1 receiving touchdown. He had that at Air Force in that game. But there's been a couple games with 4 receptions, and then 3 and 2. He's only had 20 catches for 200 yards on the season. I think a lot of people did expect Matt Lauder to come in and maybe be a bigger part of the offense this year. Is that something they can hopefully try to maybe take advantage of a little bit too, getting Matt Lauder the ball more?
Yeah, well, I think last year, Matt took a lot of people by surprise. I think he was able to sneak out of the backfield a little bit there, or the tight end position, and get in the screen game and kind of get lost with some blocking and some late releases. But absolutely, man, I know he's hungry to get going, and he's passionate and got dreams and aspirations to continue to play after this. So I know he wants to get rolling and put together a season like he did last year. But at the same time, he's not catching anybody by surprise this year. So teams are going to notice him. Teams are going to definitely identify who the threats are on the Boise State offense. They're going to try to take those threats away, as that's their job, right? So he's got his work cut out for him. And that's the cool part about, if they're worried about Matt, what does that open up for somebody else? Or, I think Wagner's having a good year and doing his thing. So multiple weapons on the Boise State offense. What's the flavor of the day? Who's going to get rolling? Who's got the hot hand? We just kind of see. And I think that's just the point of where the Bronco program or offense is at right now. Just a little inconsistent. I know that they've wanted to establish the identity. I couldn't tell you what that identity is right now. I know that they want it to be this downhill running football team, but there's been some inconsistencies. But the bottom line is they're finding ways to win. They're working hard. They're college men, 18 to 22 years old, playing against people that are preparing to beat them, preparing to limit them. So this is not an easy game that anybody's playing here. And those guys are going to make adjustments and try the best that they can. It's not like they're not out there working. So
Well, let's switch in the final time we haven't talked about the defense, because it certainly stepped up and played extremely well in the last couple of games. And but do want to tell you first about Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. If you're looking for a sauna, a spa, pool table, dartboard, they got you covered. That's Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, online at thespateam.com. Hey, Matt Boucher Real Estate. He'll join us on Monday. Preview that opening game of the season, BoucherRealEstate.com. As you know, Matt Boucher, former Boise State basketball player, doing big things now in the real estate game. Number one ranked realtor in the Northwest, Matt Boucher. Everybody has friends, family that are realtors, but if you want someone that's going to fight every step of the way for you, I highly recommend Matt Boucher. We bought and sold our home using Matt and his team. Tremendous stuff. Matt Boucher, online at BoucherRealEstate.com. Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states as well. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. And again, download that Skip app. Good savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. Shop Ridley's.com. Find a location near you. Hey, if you're looking for a new job, new career change, how about the trucking industry? It's booming right now. Transcomservice.com, all the paperwork, DOT, overweight, everything you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. They are a local company helping out folks all over the world. Transportation compliance service, online at transcomservice.com. And we want to hear from you. Speakpipe.com/BNN. You can leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox. Any thoughts you have on Boise State, on the quarterbacks continuing to decommit, on Spencer Danielson's name coming up with job openings, the game against Fresno, whatever you got. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on an upcoming show, and it's brought to you by Signature Roofing. Online, mysignatureroofing.com, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, online at mysignatureroofing.com. We appreciate Joel and Watts and the whole crew over there at Signature Roofing. They've done a tremendous job, and we got a roof from Signature Roofing on our house, Winston Venable, and we're loving it. It's great. Happy to be a customer of theirs. It was first class every step of the way. So thanks again to Signature Roofing, and again, leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. All right, so for all the offensive, I don't even know if frustration is the right word, Winston, but just some folks a little uneasy with some of the quarterback play and only scoring 24 points over there in Nevada last week. But the defense certainly stepped up. 5 takeaways. Jeremiah Irby getting 2 picks. Amarion McCoy had his 4th pick in the last 5 games. And, I mean, here we were a month ago, Winston, talking about, Demario Warren. Well, maybe we weren't, but fans, Demario Warren needs to lose his job and what's going on, and the secondary is terrible, and the pass defense. Well, you look up in the stats there today, Winston Venable and Boise State ranks top 10 in the country in interceptions, and the pass defense has certainly improved as well. And those corners in particular, Irby and McCoy, have stepped up. Obviously, Zion Washington was out with an injury, but Ganter stepped up at safety. We all know what Ty Benefield's been doing, having a great year as well. So that the secondary and then the back 7 has stepped up lately. And if that's something where, I was getting criticized, you're sugarcoating the Nevada win, they didn't play great. Well, we've seen this offense score points. We've seen this offense move the ball. I think you feel confident you can find a way to get back to that. It was just a game plan where Jeff Choate had him game planned and ready to go. Defensively, that was more encouraging for me, seeing what this defense did. And if they can put some games like that together down the stretch, certainly that's very encouraging down the stretch here.
Yeah, I think it was funny because obviously, I'm involved in some of these talks and I see some stuff online. And just like you said, I think there was a lot of noise and comments towards Boise State secondary. And then I feel like the very next game, McCoy had a pick 6 and they started playing a little bit better, and they've continued to raise their standard and continue to play better since. So pretty awesome to see. I think that's what I've recognized the most, BJ. That's what stands out is just how well the secondary is doing. I think obviously McCoy and Irby are doing a really good job, and have some great ball skills. I even go back to just last game with McCoy's interception. If you watch that clip, he identifies something and he's communicating with the safeties pre-snap, and then it's like he's on top of it, man. He knows exactly what play's coming, and then quarterback puts a little bit more air into the ball, but he goes and goes and hunts the ball down and gets a pick. So those guys are obviously studying. They're obviously in their playbook and then executing it on the field. And both those corners have great ball skills, and they're stepping up. And I think Ty Benefield's doing a great job. being that safety that's not going to let anything break for any major explosive yards. Overall, defensively, just love to see them improve the tackling, right? And just getting 11 hats to the ball. I think that's one thing, going back to just some of the inconsistencies, right? I think secondary is improving. One thing that has continued to be an issue or something that I think needs a lot of improvement is just tackling, getting guys rallied to the ball. If the first guy doesn't get him down, you're hopefully have the second or third guy right there, because it does seem like some guys are bouncing off some of the defenders, and there's more yards after contact than what I would like to see. But and I'm sure that that's kind of how they're feeling inside the building as well.
What do you make about the timing of this? Eric Chinander going down to the sidelines about a month ago or so really did kind of start some of these defensive improvements, and he talked about wanting to be down there and be in the battle with these guys and being able to look face-to-face with them and stuff. I don't remember if your D coordinators were on the field or in the box or what, and I know he's kind of joking, time to get Kick Potter's butt down to the sideline. I know it's a little different offensively when you like to see some of the ways the defense is set up and things. But what do you make of Chinander down on the sidelines and how that's helping?
Yeah, I love it. I love his comment. He was like, I'm ready to go hunt with the boys, and I'm like, heck yeah, I love that mentality. So, I think being able to get like hands-on, look guys in the face, being able to talk and have those adjustments, because if you're a coordinator, you can like pass on messaging through the defensive coaches, and maybe there's, Marco or whoever's got the green dot, and guys can go on the sideline and you can have an individual player put on the headset and get a message across. But man, when you're down there, you can go and look at everybody, all 11 guys, and talk to your defense and be a little bit more hands-on. So I like that he's able to do that. It seems like that's what he wants to do, go hunt with the boys and be in the mix. And if that makes him at his best, and I'm all for it, man. So good for them making those adjustments. It seems like it's panning off, and they'll keep on working on the things that they have to. And the bottom line for me on the defensive side is like, high effort, physicality, aggression. Everything will come off of that. Run into the ball. If you just do that with a mentality, good things are going to happen. So hopefully those guys can just continue and improve in those categories and fly around to the football and do some smacking out there.
Well, final thing for you, Winston, this game on Saturday. I mean, a 17-point favorite for Boise State. Matt Enns coming over. Originally, North Dakota State was, I think, at USC for a year, but has, won national championships at the FCS level. I think people are confident he'll get it going there, and they're sitting there at 5-3, 2-2 in the league. They're making the switch for the second straight game. They're going to move forward with a freshman quarterback. So this will be, him starting on the blue. If the fans are getting into it and getting loud on the way this defense is playing, that could be a welcome to college football moment for him. But what do you make of this matchup? And like you said, Boise State's pretty much got to win out here to keep win this championship and keep any small slim hope of the playoff alive as well. So obviously a big game, rivalry game. On paper, Boise State should win this one fairly easily, as I said, over 2 touchdown favorites. But what do you make of the matchup?
Yeah, nothing easy, though, to be honest with you. Nothing easy about playing college football. Nothing easy about playing in the Mountain West. And it's just the lay of the land, man. I mean, you got these new coaches, new players, different teams every year. So, a gritty, tough, hard-nosed Fresno State football team coming into town. So, I always expect my expectations are always that they're going to be good games and well-fought battles. Now, at the same time, BJ, they don't have to be. When I think Boise State plays the brand of Boise State football that they want to play, that they know that they're capable of, we can blow people out. And I think that it's just not easy to do that week in and week out. And the other guys used to say in professional ball, those guys get paid too, and then it used to be, hey, they're on scholarship too. Well, now everybody's getting paid. So, hey, those guys get paid too. Yeah, they're 18 to 22 years old. They're being coached well. They have a good coaching staff. So you just never know, and that's why you always have to come with your best, man. And you always got to play the best brand of football you can, because at any given Saturday you can get beat. So I'm hoping it's a good game. I'm hoping Broncos play just a clean, hard-nosed style of football that I think the fans would be happy to see. Regardless, win, loss, just a nice entertaining game of good hard-nosed Bronco football would be awesome, and hopefully that there's a win at the end of the day.
Well, I thought the 1:30 game against UNLV had great atmosphere, and they had Mo Bamba, and the base there rocking there when the defense was out there on the field. So, I mean, I think if they can replicate the atmosphere in the stands, I just saw that it was a sellout. It'll be the 16th straight sellout, I believe, or something like that. So, I mean, that's going to be should be another great atmosphere. And as you said, with a young quarterback, maybe rattle them early and roll from there.
Dude, so awesome to see when teams come in here and they just cannot get rolling, man. And it's like false start after false start. And, you can almost just sense the young quarterbacks and the offenses. They're just flustered. And it's like, yeah, Bronco Nation, man, just coming with the noise. So, keep it up, Bronco Nation. The game atmosphere has always been next level, one of the top places to play in country, if not the top place, and one of the hardest places to play for opponents. So, Bronco Nation brings the heat, big part of the game. And I think that's why guys like Jeremiah Dickey get passionate about teams, fans leaving or whatnot, because it's important. And they want to have a packed house that has an impact on the game. So shout out to Bronco Nation for bringing the heat and being heavily involved in wins out there.
I'll tell you what, Winston, the show always seems to go fast, but today definitely seemed like it went fast. I looked up and we're 50 minutes in here. So appreciate your time as always, Winston. By the way, somebody was asking about the B-ball scrimmage they had against Washington. I will just say quickly, I'm not hiding anything, BSU Bill. I just don't know. Like sometimes more coaches are easier about leaking this stuff out. Sometimes the winning team wants to leak it out to show they won. Sometimes they don't because they don't want to tick off the other coach that was nice enough to play him, particularly if they're at a Power 5 school and you're not. And so I'm not being coy or anything. I did hear Boise State won the game, but trying to get more details. And I don't even know if Washington had all their players. I don't know if Dylan Andrews played. Working on getting more details for you, but Boise State did win the scrimmage from what I heard, and I'll keep working on that. But to this point, neither side has wanted to let anything leak out on that out of respect to each other and the deal that those two schools had. So appreciate it again, Winston, for coming on. And yeah, now we're in the crossover here with football and basketball, so we'll have plenty of talk of both. We'll talk a little more basketball maybe tomorrow with John Mallory. We got Mike Prater on Friday, and then as I said, on Monday we'll have Matt Boucher join us on a game day, so we get you set for basketball on Monday. Yeah, it was a 10-point win I heard against Washington. So nice. Appreciate you, Winston, for jumping on. Thanks, everybody. Go subscribe. $7 a month. BNN, all kinds of recruiting coverage, all kinds of stuff on the site right now. If you haven't checked it out, all kinds of new stories, 3-4 new stories in the last 12 hours being posted. So BroncoNationNews.com. Go check that out. Subscribe. Appreciate you guys. We got Braxton Feely and Cage Casey talking today at noon. We'll get those posted on the YouTube channel this afternoon. Plenty of coverage to come throughout the day, and we'll see you. Again, thanks. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the message boards. Bronco Nation News online, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.